Long ago, people at the foot of Nanshan lived a very stable life. There are forests and terraced fields everywhere. When spring comes, the people in the village plant rice on the terraces. By September, wild animals were running everywhere on the mountain, the men in the village went hunting on the mountain, and the fields were taken care of by the women. However, there are also some unsatisfactory places in such rich places. Seeing that the crops were about to harvest, one night, a hunter in the village came home with a pile of prey. His woman complained to him that pheasants and turtledoves on the mountain flew into the fields and ate a lot of ears of grain. The next day, the hunter and his wife stood by the edge of the field. When they saw the pheasants flying, they picked up a big broom made of branches and drove them away. Who knows, just after the pheasants and turtledoves were driven away, several big wild boars ran out of the woods and opened his crops with their noses. This can make the hunter family anxious. How can we just watch the wild animals spoil the food so much? The hunter took the bow and arrow at hand and shot it, hitting a wild boar in the leg. Several wild boars were frightened, screamed a few times and ran back to the woods. The hunter thought the beasts would never come back, but he was wrong and came to the field the next day. Oh, my God! These wild animals have already destroyed most of the good crops. The hunter felt very distressed, but there was no other way, so he stayed by the crops day and night to prevent wild animals from making trouble again. After 3 days, he was so sleepy that he fell asleep by the edge of the field. In a daze, the hunter vaguely saw 3 women coming from a distance. One of the women was holding a large basket, the other was holding a bow and arrow, and the third was holding a large slingshot. The hunter tried to stand up, but he was as heavy as lead and could not get up. He had to keep his eyes half open to see whether the 3 women wanted to be what. I saw that the first woman sprinkled a handful of blighted grain on the ground, and set up the big basket on the blighted grain. She tied a rope to the wooden stick that set up the basket and waited at a distance. A few pheasants and turtledoves were arrested in a short time. She pulled her prey out of the basket and stood aside. The second woman came up and opened her bow and arrow and hit a wild boar in the heart. She quickly tied the boar's 4 feet with a rope and dragged it aside. The third woman set up a big slingshot and shot a wild boar in the forehead. The wild boar struggled for a moment and then stopped moving. The third woman did not take the prey and motioned the other 2 women to leave with the prey. When the 3 of them disappeared in the distance, the hunter lying on the ground managed to get up. He thought it was a dream, but when he opened his eyes wide, there was a big wild boar lying in his field. Only then did he know that it was not a dream. The hunter hurried to the old man in the village and told him what he had seen. The old man hurriedly said, "You saw the hunting god. The 3 of them are all the wives of the mountain gods, and they are all the gods who bless our hunting peace. They have removed the wild animals that harm our crops for us. Let's offer tribute to them quickly." After that, the old man led the whole village's men, women and children to set up a bonfire, roast pheasants, cook wild boars, set up a sacrificial platform in front of the mountain, and offered sacrifices to the mountain gods, thanking them for all they had done for the villagers. Sure enough, since then, the wild animals on the mountain have never invaded the villagers' crops. Since then, the custom of offering sacrifices to the goddess of hunting has been preserved. Whenever people go hunting on the mountain or have a good harvest, they have to prepare abundant sacrifices to sacrifice to divines.